Am I the asshole for holding a grudge years later after I am called a cancer? A little background. I 43F live with my husband 45M, his parents 70M and F. We bought a house together almost 20 years ago. As I grew up in a multi-generational household, my Phil was disabled and couldn't work but watched our two kids, now 23M and 22F. We also have a now 14M. This worked for us. Yeah, we had our differences but we always could work them out. In 2016 I got really sick. I mean hospitalized multiple times for 4 to 5 days at a time. I tried to work when I could but ultimately was diagnosed with a degenerative disease and went on disability. I would live my life with a minimum 4 to 5 on the pain scale daily and would spike to 9s regularly. I was in bed most of the time, needed help showering, and couldn't stand long enough to cook. During this time our family was really supportive. They understood our lives had to change. It wasn't until recently I was able to get a treatment for my illness. When I was finally able to have surgery after the hospitals opened after COVID, our youngest son, 10M at the time, stayed with my Bill, 46M, and Sil, 45F for a month while I recovered. I had to have a feeding tube and my Mill worked and couldn't help and Phil was at my Bill most days. Our son is borderline autistic and take a lot of care when it comes to school. Our oldest son was in high school and dropped out later that year. We told him he could pay us rent or move out. He chose to move in with my Bill and Sil. This is where it all goes downhill. My Bill comes over the week my son is moving and tells my husband he wants to talk to him where I can't hear. My husband is my best friend and doesn't keep secrets so they can talk right there. He told my husband that I was a cancer on the family. I didn't work and I was addicted to painkillers. Since marrying me my husband is no longer a man. At this point my husband has my back and they get into a shouting match. I was upset and couldn't handle this. I left and went to my parents. We went no contact with them for over a year. Now keep in mind we live in the same town and my Phil does childcare for Bill as well. The next year we got an apology. We now interact with them again, but every time we see them I get upset and I leave as soon as I can. Am I the asshole for not being able to get over this?